Manchester City, when it looked like they might lose it, ended up drawing 2-2, could have won it in the end. Is there life in this title race yet, Simon, do you think?
Theoretically, yes. I think practically, probably not. I think Manchester City will do the job on the last game of the season. I know we can harken back to previous seasons gone past where they had moments in time when they had to overcome QPR and it was so nip and tuck.
Yeah.
But I think they are in the box seat, obviously because they've got the point that separates the two in the event Liverpool win both their games. So I think it's done. And, you know, the game yesterday, ironically, a lot of my friends that are big West Ham fans were forecasting that West Ham would beat Man City and were texting me with great delight at half-time, extolling their own virtues. And I said, wait and see. They'll rip you a new one in the second half.
Yeah.
And so it proved, to some extent, because Man City, you know, you don't get to be a side that's won potentially 4 of the last 5 Premier League titles without having some bounce back ability, to coin a phrase from a previous manager of mine.
Yeah.
And with that in mind, I fully expected Man City to come back into the game.
Well, he certainly did.
A depleted Man City was some might add defensively as well.
For sure. Martin, I'll come to you, but certainly Pep post-match, his take on what was a topsy-turvy afternoon was interesting, because when you think of it, it's a terrific point in the circumstances for City, you would think, as opposed to a missed opportunity. Anyway, we'll get into that, but this was Pep.
We were so generous, we were so honest in the way we play. We attack, and sometimes when we consider counter-attacks, then good game. The Premier League teams knows how difficult it is to make a comeback against this team, 2-0 down in this stadium where they defend. They have so weapons in set pieces, weapons in the transitions, and it's a 2-2. What we have done so far is have our destiny in our hands, and we're going to try to, in 1 week, do a good game and win the title.
So that was Guardiola. I mean, Mark, when you do look at it, is it more of a terrific point in the circumstances for City rather than a missed opportunity? I mean, they looked as if they were going in the wrong end of a 2-0, maybe a 3-0 if West Ham had kept it going.
Bowen was magnificent for West Ham, and I think there would have been some serious questions being asked in that dressing room at half-time by the manager, and they had a really good reaction when they came back, very quickly scored to a goal from Grealish to get them back into the game. And that's the sort of ingredients, Jim, you have to show. If you want to be champions, you know that Liverpool are chasing you down. Of course, it goes over to Liverpool now, who play Southampton tomorrow night, and then Wolves to follow. I would be really looking forward to that game now if I was a City player. I mean, Simon makes a good point about Queen's Park Rangers just a few years back, when it's sort of this beginning of this journey for winning all these Premier League titles, when how difficult that was. And it could get like that again. You know, with Steven Gerrard going to, it's almost ironic, isn't it? Liverpool player, Liverpool great, taking his Villa team to City. The order of the day is, can City break down a Villa defence? I'm sure it's going to take a while. If they can score early, then it could be, 3 or 4 for them, because they do score in bucket loads of goals. It is a wonderful City team, but I just had a feeling Mahrez was going to miss that penalty yesterday. And I'm always looking at City players, so it seems, when it really matters, missing penalties in key moments. I think they've missed now 16 in the Premier League era. It's a lot of penalties, but credit to them, Jim, for getting back in that. And just shows you now West Ham, they really are a difficult task now when you go to West Ham.
Well, that's a good point you make, because wins against Tottenham, Liverpool, Chelsea, and a point against Manchester City yesterday, and what was their final home game. I remember Martin Oval many, many months saying to me, yeah, look, they complain about the London Stadium, but if we do well, they won't be complaining. Has the London Stadium now become a fortress for West Ham, Simon?
Well, we listened to, and Mark Noble was part of that sort of cacophony of voices around the dissatisfaction of the ownership model when he chipped in with his 2 penny for backgraded Diogano a couple of years ago. The narrative was always advanced because they moved a stadium that had deep-seated roots in the community. They promised them certain things, and then they moved into a stadium they didn't really communicate very well. So it gave people a backdrop alongside a side that wasn't winning the games that people thought they should win. So with that in mind, you've just seen it. I listened to the commentary on Sunday with people making the observation, don't tell me about atmosphere in this stadium. So the argument that was being advanced all the way along, which was pushed back by West Ham fans ad infinitum, it's got nothing to do with the fact the team's not winning. It's a stadium's crap. It's got a running track around the side of it. We can't get the atmosphere in. Team's winning. Atmosphere's in the stadium.
Exactly.
Therein lies the answer to everything.
Because they've got a team to shout about now. They can play their part. It was really interesting, actually, though, how Man City were getting it wrong, their defensive line at the back. Zinchenko gambling for offsides. Laporte the same. I know they've got a lot of different changes in the back, but the emphasis is always the same, both for Liverpool and Man City. They push up really high lines, and they just weren't getting it right. And West Ham, the way they are, they don't go and press the ball high. They play their tactics slightly different, Jim. They're slightly withdrawn, and they make that run from deep. And it was a nightmare for City. They actually could have been 3-0 up. So maybe they might run out of defenders, Jim. I mean, let's have a look. Fernandinho is not a specialist central defender, and boy, did it show. Yesterday.
Yeah. Well, it's so late on now, isn't it? I mean, anything could happen. Is there still life left yet in this title race? Do we honestly believe it? Or is the destiny of the Premier League title the Etihad once again? 03717 22 344. And just on West Ham, the much maligned London Stadium, are you now having it? Has it become a fortress for your football club? The London Stadium, controversial venue, but it's yours, and are you happy with it? At long last, West Ham fans. 03717 22 344 810 89. Martin Kieran got me a coffee and didn't get one for Simon Jordan. Is that how it's going to go this morning? I've noticed that. It's Jim, Martin and Simon live on talkSPORT.
Jim White and Simon Jordan. Monday to Friday mornings from 10 on AM, on DAB, via the talkSPORT app and on your smart speaker. talkSPORT.